What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here with the week's hottest topics, you guys. This is the week of April 11th through the 16th. I was about to say the 15th, but today is the 15th. You guys will see this tomorrow. So this has been an interesting week, you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just discuss what's trending and what's hot this week. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go out of order of my notes because I'm actually in my bedroom once again, and I'm looking at the television. And let's go ahead and talk about, the vaccine. I'm not gonna do like Ross and give you guys numbers because I'm not gonna look them up. But let's just look at this. I'm just gonna go off of what I'm seeing on television, and this comes from what? So this says Pfizer CEO, a third dose possible. So it says 6 to 12 months after full vaccine. Oh, okay. 6 to 12 months after full vaccination, it could be an annual shot. An annual shot is also possible in fighting the variants. Now, that's the shot that I actually got last week, was the Pfizer shot. So my next Pfizer shot is not going to be until May 2nd. So that's when I go back to get my second dose. And I will, update you guys when I get it, how I'm feeling, all that stuff. But since we're talking about the vaccine, let's talk about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So you guys know that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is the one-shot vaccine. And I know when they first talked about the one-shot vaccine, a lot of people wanted the one-shot vaccine. I included wanted just a one-shot. I didn't want to keep going back for another shot. So I really wasn't too keen on getting Pfizer or the Moderna. At that time, I would have preferred Johnson & Johnson. Now, leading up to me, because I hate these people that live above me. So prior to me setting up my appointment date for my vaccine, that's when everything started coming out about the whole Johnson & Johnson thing. Then I say, it's Pfizer and it's not Moderna. Or is it Moderna? It's Pfizer and it's... what are the vaccines? Because you guys know that they had an issue with the one, it's Pfizer and Moderna, but they have an issue with the one, AstraZeneca, that's it. They have an issue with the one, with the AstraZeneca vaccine across the pond. So they have issues with that. They had the issues with Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca being produced in the same plant here in the States. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, because you kept hearing about the issues with the blood clots and things like that. And then it came out just before I got my vaccine. Thank God it was the Pfizer. I actually looked at it before, because when I signed up for it at my local Walmart, it told me on the email which one I would be getting. And then it also shows me on my card which one I got as well. So I got the Pfizer vaccine. So, with Johnson & Johnson, it's now come out that there have been some issues with it. There are some, and it's in women. I think they said, 6 to 12 weeks after they've gotten it. The women have had some blood clots. What else? Actually, I know one woman passed away because of the blood clots. God. But then, I have actually forgot about the issues that Johnson & Johnson has, and I don't know how I forgot about it because they showed those commercials on television a lot. If you did this or did that between a certain time and a certain time, talking about Johnson & Johnson with the talcum powder. I don't know how I forgot the talcum powder because I would see it on TV all the time. So yeah, that's the issue with Johnson & Johnson. They have put it on hold. Now I did see on The View yesterday, which was Wednesday, that one of the doctors that's been going around talking about the vaccine, he says, they did put a pause on it. He says, but he wouldn't be surprised if it's, up and back out by next week. Honestly, if it comes, if I were a person and I set up to get a vaccine and even if they do fix everything with the Johnson & Johnson, if I see Johnson & Johnson on, I'm like, absolutely don't give that to me. Where's the Pfizer? Where's the Moderna? One of those two, but I'm not taking Johnson & Johnson. But if you guys have had your COVID vaccines, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what your experiences have been. My experience, I told you guys what my experience was last week. I was supposed to talk to you guys about it earlier this week, but my experience was pretty normal for me when it comes to getting shots. I did it in my recessive arm, which is my left. I'm not left-handed, but I'm ambidextrous. But I didn't want to do it in my right hand because this is the strong hand. Like I said, I know how to use my left hand, but I just didn't want to take that chance that something, and like I said, you guys, I did get a little stiffness and a little sore, but it only lasted for a day and a half, and after that it was over. And I don't know, I was sleepy, but I don't know if that was because of me, because Saturday I went to Houston and I hung out with one of my cousins. So I don't know if that was what it was, me driving back home that morning or what. It could have just been that. That could have been what I was tired from. I think that's really what it was. But that's my experience. So like I said, I go back on May 2nd to get my second shot, and we'll see how it goes then. So let's move on to the next story, you guys. All right, you guys, so let's get these sad stories out of the way first. So we got a few rest in peace to put out there this week. So it's so interesting that I think it may have been like 2 hours after I posted my video last week that the news had hit that DMX had passed, and I had just talked about him in the video. And then, like I said, not long after that, it came out that he had passed away. Man, DMX is really gonna be missed. I gotta say that he's gonna be sorely missed. The Game came out with a tweet last week, and I was like, why would you tweet this? Because he was talking about, what people say. People don't really talk about you until you've passed away. But that's not the case with DMX. DMX was someone that we were definitely talking about. We were praising him. Like we were giving him his flowers. We gave him his flowers with the verses with him and Snoop. And I think I put that on social media somewhere. I'm actually happy that we had that verses, and I'm actually glad that we were able to, just have the verses with him and Snoop and just vibe out to his music and just really give that man his flowers. So rest in peace to DMX. He was 50 years old. But one thing I did not know that I knew he had a lot of kids, but I didn't know he had 15 kids. Lord, he had a lot of kids. But my condolences go out to his family, his friends, his kids, and everyone else who knew him. God. He was 50 years old. I think I may have said that, and I saw a lot of people tweeting pictures of him and Aaliyah. I cannot believe this year's gonna be 20 years that Aaliyah passed away. She passed away on my best friend's birthday, August 25th. So rest in peace to DMX. And then we also have to say a rest in peace to Jaren from Baldwin Hills. When I saw that news, I'm like, wait a minute, Baldwin Hills, and she was 30 years old. I'm like, oh wow, that is so sad that she passed away. And they said she passed away in her sleep. God, 30 years old. That is, I didn't know that. Now see, Baldwin Hills, that was my show back in the day on BET. I used to love that show. I didn't know that she was younger than me. I thought that when it came to Baldwin Hills, because when Baldwin Hills came out, I think I was the first season of Baldwin Hills. Baldwin Hills came out. When did Baldwin Hills come out? I thought, well, they're not younger than, they're younger than me, but they're not that younger than me, because I'm just about to be 32. Am I about to be 32? Are you about to be 32? That's sad that you always forget how old you are. I believe I'm about to be 32. Yeah, I'm about to be 32. Yeah, I'm turning 32 this year. I don't know how I had to ask myself that question. So there were 3 seasons of Baldwin Hills. So Baldwin Hills actually came out in 2007. So that was my senior year of high school. Also, actually, when they came out, I had already graduated high school, July 10th of 2007. So I just graduated high school. So I was 6 days shy of my 18th birthday. 6 days shy of my 18th birthday. So yeah, she passed away. They haven't said, what the cause of death was, but Nonetheless, rest in peace to her. And then Friday, before I even posted my video, news came out from across the pond that Prince Philip had passed away at 99. Rest in peace to him. I mean, he lived a good life. He lived a long life too. And then also, it came out. I think it came out. This came out yesterday. Let me take a look and see. I mean, we'll say rest in peace to him, but I know there are people who really don't care that he's dead. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not saying I don't care if the man is dead, but Bernie Madoff, he passed away at 82 years old. Did he die in jail? Did Bernie Madoff pass away in prison? Oh, yep, he did. He had a 150-year prison. Oh, they knew he was gonna die in prison. Damn. So he died behind bars. Ew. 100. I mean, seriously, 150 years in prison. Who the hell is gonna last that long? I'm not laughing about the man dying. I'm just laughing about this term. 150 years. What y'all gonna do? Keep his body? What y'all gonna do when he died? Keep his body? I just don't understand that. But yeah, rest in peace to Prince Philip, Bernie Madoff. He was still a human. Garen from Baldwin Hills, and DMX. So let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get these stories out the way, because these are probably going to be the longer parts of the video. Let's talk about the shit that's been happening this week with black people. Which one do I want to start up with first? Let's start up with the lieutenant. I don't know his name, but that was the first story that I saw. Now, mind you, this all happened in December of 2020. So, let's see. And when I saw this, it just infuriated me. Because you got these right-wing people who always say, respect the flag, don't kneel to the flag, respect the men and women who support our country. But then you get these crackerjack asshole cops that don't respect a man that is clearly in his uniform, and y'all pull him over. What did they pull him over for? What did they pull? Did they ever say what they allegedly pulled him over for? Oh, they fired the officer. I don't really care about that. But they pulled him over. It was something with his car. I think it was his tags in his car. I believe that's what the issue was. The police chief of Windsor, Virginia, the town where a black Army vet was confronted by two officers. Don't believe the lieutenant is owed. He don't believe he's owed an apology. Are you serious? He doesn't believe he's owed an apology. So, during a recent press conference on Wednesday, April 14th, Windsor Police Department Chief Rodney D. Riddle discussed the incident that ended with Army Lieutenant Karen Nazario, I hope I'm pronouncing, I know I'm butchering his name, being pepper sprayed by Officer Joe Gutierrez and Daniel Crocker. As previously reported by Revolt, Nazario was pulled over at a traffic stop after he was caught driving with a rear license tag. What's wrong with that? That means he just got the car. So when asked to exit his vehicle, he questioned the cops to explain why he was stopped, which nothing's wrong with that. So his refusal to get out of his car angered the cops, angered the officers who pepper sprayed him, which was so fucked up. When I just saw them pepper spraying him, and I'm like, really? And then when he did get out the car, when they just slammed him to the ground, I'm like, that is, what the hell? So yeah, his refusal to get out of his car angered the officers who pepper sprayed him, dragged him out of his car and placed him in handcuffs, all before realizing the rear tag was taped onto the vehicle the entire time. So instead of you just looking and actually noticing, hey, there is his rear tag, it's taped to taped to his car. Y'all go through this whole process of pepper spraying this man, taking him out of his car and dragging him out of his car and taking him to the ground. And then they were so rude and dismissive to him. So while addressing the incident, it says Riddle praised the officers for responding. You've got to be bullshitting me. I don't mean to, I'm sorry you guys about cussing. I told you guys I'm trying to work on it, but this is just enraging me. So it says, while addressing the incident, Riddle praised the officers for responding and it's in quotes, relatively well. How was that relatively well when they pulled him over and then they were asking him, they would question him about why did he pull over to, he pulled over to a gas station, and they were questioning him about why did he pull over to the gas station. Well, when you get pulled over, they tell you to pull over to a well-lit area and make sure that it's somewhere safe, not only for you, but for the cops. Like, how many times do you see it? Like, actually, I see it a lot here in Dallas. Like, when people get pulled over by the cops, especially at night, they pull off. I mean, if there's nowhere else to go, I get pulling off to the shoulder. But I've saw people do the dumbest shit when it comes here in Dallas. They even pull over to the shoulder. When I'm like, why would you pull over to the shoulder when there's a lot of traffic coming? And I actually saw somebody do this. One person actually stopped in the middle of the road. I'm like, why would you do that to this cop? You're putting your life at risk and you're putting his life at risk. And you see it quite often where people get, especially if it's dark, if it's late at night and it's dark, and the cop, although they have their lights on, people still hit cops and kill them. It happens. So they were questioning him about that, but they did it relatively well ahead of the actual traffic stop. There were certain actions that Mr. Nazario took that raised red flags for those officers based on their training, he said. What red flags? I didn't see anything. And they had their body cams on. What red flags? He was asking them, what did they pull him over for? Like, if they had just said, we pulled you over because you don't have a registration on your car, he could have said, oh, well, sir, it's taped to my window. Like, you didn't see it? But they did relatively well. And he, the victim in this, raised some red flags. So it says they may be dealing with something beyond an ordinary run-of-the-mill stop. Those officers initially reacted relatively well, in my opinion. He's a fool. He also took accountability for their shortcomings. I'm gonna own what my guy. That's a contradiction, you dunce. But you feel like they did relatively well, but then you're also gonna take accountability for their shortcomings. I'm gonna own what we did, Riddle says. My guys missed opportunities to verbally de-escalate that thing and change that outcome. De-escalate that thing? Okay. Are you serious? This is stupid. And then a reporter later asked whether he thinks Nazario deserves an apology. And he replied, I don't believe that adding that he wished the veteran would have complied a whole lot earlier. He didn't do anything wrong. What is he going to comply with? He didn't do anything wrong. Okay. Now, following this incident, Nazario filed a lawsuit against the Windsor Police Department. I hope he gets everything from them and more. His attorney argued that Riddle is continuing a false narrative and victim blaming. Absolutely what he's doing. They maintained that their client complied with the officer's request to stop and responded quickly to each of their commands. Crocker has since been disciplined for his involvement, and Gutierrez was fired from his position. But if you agree with what they did, why was he fired? Make that make sense. If you agree with it, why was he fired? So, as Riddle lost confidence in his ability to effectively engage his community. Oh, okay. So freaking infuriating. And then the next one we got to talk about is Dante Wright. This is another, and I've saw people, on the other side, and this little 2-bit comedian on Twitter talking about you just need to comply with the cops. He had a warrant for his arrest. He had a warrant for his arrest. You guys do know that that warrant was sent to the wrong house, right? And then you got the racist people in the comments saying, well, he gave them the wrong address. People don't move. People don't move, huh? People don't move. Or people like, and I'm gonna use myself as a prime example. If I give you my driver's license does not have my physical address on it. It has my aunt's address. That's where I like all my business mail to go to. Anything business related, I don't want it to come to my apartment, because when it comes to me in apartments, I don't know if I'm gonna stay there, after my lease term is up. So I always just give my aunt's physical address. So if you pull me over, I give you my ID, you write me a ticket, and then you say, something happens, I don't pay the ticket, and you issue a warrant for my arrest, I'm not gonna see it for a while because it's gonna be at my aunt's house. So we don't know what the situation was with Dante. But Dante was pulled over by the cop. And I don't care I know what her name is, I just don't want to say her name on camera. So she pulled him over. They were getting ready to arrest him because of this warrant. And they said that there was a struggle with him. I didn't really see a struggle with him, but whatever. So now she's a 26-year veteran on the force, right? So you would think that this woman knows the difference between her gun and her taser. Now in her video, she keeps screaming, taser, 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 right? So she takes out her gun and she shoots him. Now he did drive off, but then he eventually crashed the car. And, he passed away due to, the gunshot. So she's resigned, I know that, but she's also been arrested. And I know she's been charged, I think is with, I don't forget what she's charged with that, she's been charged. And the police chief, he resigned as well. I've saw so many people talk about this. When it comes to, I don't even care about, when it comes to cops, they talk about they put their guns on their dominant side. So for me, if I'm a cop, my gun is going to be on my right hand side, because again, I told you guys when I got my vaccine, right hand dominant, left hand recessive. So if I'm in a situation where I need to, go for my gun, it's on my right side because I'm quick. My reflexes are quicker on my right side than my left side. So she went for her taser, but she pulled her gun. So when she pulled her gun, she didn't think at that point, oh, damn. She didn't even look down and say, damn, gun, wrong thing. Let me get my taser and tase him. And then the other thing that I have the issue with is the taser weighs less than a gun. Taser, gun, they weigh less than each other. Taser is yellow. Gun, black. Heavier, lighter, heavier, lighter. So I don't know how she confused the two, which it bothers me. And then you took this young man, 20 years old, away from his mom, his dad. He has a child. Like, you took him away from people who loved him. Like, I just don't understand it. I really don't. Like, when I think about it, I just draw blanks. Like, I don't get it. And I really just don't get how she did not know she pulled her gun. She knew what she was. I feel she knew she was pulling her gun. You cannot tell me she did not know that. That woman knew she was pulling her gun. Like I said, once again, it's on your dominant. Your gun is on your dominant side. So you're pulling on your. If your gun is on your right hand side, you knew what you were pulling. But then you could feel it in your hand. You could feel the difference in your hand. Especially being a 26-year veteran cop, you know what a gun feels like, and you know what a taser feels like. And then you were training someone on top of that. No. Like, I'm just really sick of talking about stuff like this. It's just, it's infuriating to the umpteenth point. This story with Dante, and then the lieutenant in Virginia. It's just infuriating. And then people wonder why we say Black Lives Matter. We're not saying only Black Lives Matter. We're just saying Black Lives Matter. We're saying if all lives matter, why don't ours matter as well? That's what we're saying to the people in the back who need to hear that. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. That's just like me saying my apartment is on fire, but my neighbor's apartment, which let's just actually, perfect example because it actually just happened this week. There was a fire over here in my area, and they took care of the fire at that one place, didn't come up here because we were okay. That place wasn't. But let's move on, you guys, because I feel myself getting heated on top of these lights, but I feel myself getting heated. But let's move on. All right, you guys, let's give out some congratulations in baby news. All right, so I saw this, I think Wednesday when I was coming home from the gym, and it was on the Shade Room or somewhere that Macaulay Culkin and Brenda Song have welcomed a baby boy into this world. I was like, really? Brenda Song and Macaulay Culkin? Would have never thought it or guessed it. I haven't saw either one of them in a long, long time. Now, I do still watch Home Alone 1 and 2. I even have Home Alone 3 on VHS. I actually watched Home Alone over the Christmas break. I love that movie. Now, Brenda Song, I'm not entirely familiar. I know who Brenda Song is. I'm not going to tell you guys I don't know who she is. I know who Brenda Song is from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I just didn't watch that show. By the time The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody had come out, I was well into my I was in my teenage years. I was about 16 years old when that show came out, so that show did not appeal to me at all. It wasn't made for me. It wasn't made for my demographic, so I didn't watch it. But I do know who Brenda Song is, and congratulations to she and Macaulay Culkin. And then we also have to say congratulations to Nick Cannon. So Nick Cannon is expecting twins. What's that girl's name? Didn't he just have a baby recently? Baby Nick be popping out the kids too. Nick is just as fertile as Future, Bow Wow. They all fertile. But the one thing I will say about Nick Cannon is Abby De La Rosa. That's her name. The one thing I will say about Nick Cannon is we've never heard anything about him as far as him being a deadbeat dad. He's, we can assume that he's in his kids' lives and very present. So, how many kids do he have? Oh, please tell me this ain't a real. Oh God, don't tell me that that's real. It is. So Nick is going to be the father of 6 kids. Damn, 6 kids. We already, we know he has Monroe and Moroccan with Mariah Carey. He has a child named Golden Cannon. I don't know who that's with. And he has a child named Powerful Queen Cannon. That is an interesting name. But you know what? When it comes to these kids, they ain't never got to worry about nothing. When it comes to, they ain't got to worry about when they go apply for jobs because they daddy got it. Because those are some interesting names. Now Monroe and Moroccan was a little interesting for me, but Monroe, even Golden, but Powerful. Come here, Powerful. Come here, Power. Come here. Okay. So yeah, he's a father of 6. Damn. 6 kids. Two sets of twins. Baby, I don't know if I would want to have that many kids. 2 would be enough for me. Yep, 2 would just be enough for me. So yeah, that's it, you guys. Let's move over to the last thing that we want to talk about. All right, you guys. So the last thing is that I want to discuss in this video. Let's talk about A-Rod and Jennifer Lopez. Now, news had come out a few months ago that they actually had broke up. I think it was back in, was it March? Was it last month? I think it was last month that they had broke up. You know, people were trying to link A-Rod to this young lady from Southern Charm. I don't watch that show, you guys, so I don't know who the young lady is. I don't know her name, but they were linking it to him, linking him to her, and that being the reason for their breakup. They discussed it. They just said that they realized that they were better off as friends. They're still going to work together with the businesses that they've created. What businesses have they created? I don't know. I mean, I know that since A-Rod has left baseball, he's done a lot, because he's also from time to time he's a guest shark on the hit reality show on ABC, Shark Tank, because I love that show. Love Shark Tank to death. So I know he's on there from time to time. I don't know what businesses he and Jennifer have together, but they're gonna still work together on their businesses. That's it. I don't really feel too much about them breaking up. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I wish both of them nothing but the best of luck and the best of success. And then also, you guys, the last thing that we're going to talk about is the Versus that's coming up on April 20th, 420. And it is going to be with none other than Redman and Method Man. Are you guys excited about it? I am excited about it. I'm ready to. I want to see it. God, I just got to think about where I'm gonna watch it. If I'm gonna watch it on Instagram or if I'm watching it on Triller, because Triller had his issues the last time, so I don't know. But that's it, you guys. We do this every single week, same time. Try to be same time, same place, same channel. And until the next one, you guys, do me a solid favor out there. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Remember, wash your hands, wear your mask, socially distance, and stay blessed, you guys. And we were gonna get through this together, you guys. Until the next one, which I will see you guys later tonight. Well, technically, when you see this video, it'll be tonight. But this is Thursday that I'm recording it. But later tonight on Friday, you guys will see me for Ready to Love on OWN. And I'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.